Afterwards, the two Democratic presidential campaigns largely remained silent on this matter. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders only addressing it when directly questioned. As for some political commentators, they appeared to suggest this is just no big deal. Watch.
Let's just not get carried away. You know, this in the United States, this kind of protest has gone on for hundreds of years. It's not that big a deal. So a bunch of people, like the guy got his hat knocked off. One person getting hurt is unacceptable, but it's one person. I just don't think anybody should, think that this is a bigger deal than it is.
As for the Donald himself, today he said this.
Crowd, it was absolutely incredible. And it was a love fest inside. We had just an amazing time. And that was it. And we wrapped up. Everybody was cheering like crazy for forever. Then they walk out and they get accosted by a bunch of thugs burning the American flag. Burning the American flag. And you know what they are? They're thugs.
In just a moment, we'll discuss this with Trump spokesperson Katrina Pearson and radio show host Richard Fowler. But first, we begin with Trace Gallagher reporting from our West Coast newsroom. Trace.
And Trish, even if you take eyewitness testimony out of what happened during the Trump rally in San Jose and just stick with what was documented on videotape, there were numerous violent attacks against Trump supporters by Trump protesters. Some supporters were pelted with eggs. At least one man was sucker punched as he tried to walk away, and another man was blindsided and bashed in the head with a heavy bag. The man who took the video of the bag attack says old people were also getting knocked to the ground and having their Trump hats stomped on. He thinks San Jose police backed off for too long. Watch.
When this man in the yellow shirt was coming out, there were several officers who did not intervene when the crowd started rushing at him, spitting on him, and pushing him. And, I don't know what the reason for that is.
Today, the police came out and said the reason they didn't intervene sooner is because they feared it would incite more violent behavior. But the mayor of San Jose, Sam Liccardo, a Democrat who supports Hillary Clinton, said his police department did an extraordinary job. He blames Trump for coming to cities and igniting problems that police have to deal with, telling the Associated Press, quoting, "At some point, Donald Trump has to take responsibility for the irresponsible behavior of his campaign." In a follow-up statement today, the mayor again blamed Trump for stirring the pot, but finally denounced the violence against Trump supporters. And Hillary Clinton echoed that by condemning both the violence and Trump. Watch.
This has to end. He set a very bad example. He created an environment in which it seemed to be acceptable for someone running for president to be inciting violence, to be encouraging his supporters.
Bernie Sanders also weighed in, calling Trump reprehensible, but saying we can't defeat him by throwing eggs. And finally, there's the media influence. Emmett Renson, a deputy editor at Vox, which is a left-leaning news website, has urged people to riot if Donald Trump comes to town. Renson has now been suspended. Trish.
Thanks so much, Trace. Joining us right now with reaction to the events, Katrina Pearson, national spokesperson for the Trump campaign, and Richard Fowler, a nationally syndicated radio talk show host and senior fellow at the New Leaders Council. Richard, I'll start with you. Why don't we see liberals act more aggressively when it comes to condemning violence like this?
Well, what we saw in San Jose, what we saw a couple nights ago in Berkeley, it's wrong, right? Violence should never be tolerated. But what should be allowed is peaceful protests. People saying and speaking their mind. That's our First Amendment right. And that's what those folks are doing. When they go to violence, it's wrong, and they should be arrested. They're thugs. It's awful.
And
We've seen
indeed,
Hillary Clinton say that. We've
violence.
seen Bernie Sanders say that. We've seen Democratic we've seen senators say that.
It took them a while.
What they
Bernie
said it, though,
Sanders,
Trish.
just moments ago, said something in response when he was asked about it. Hillary Clinton needed to be asked about it. Katrina Pearson, why aren't the two leading candidates in the Democratic Party coming out, taking a stand and saying enough with the violence?
Well, Trish, it's simple. The media is not asking them to. This started with the Chicago rally. We know for a fact there were left organizations participating in this. Bill Ayers himself was there and reporting on the ground. MoveOn.org was involved. Black Lives Matter was involved. There were tons of left organizations